Hello, Orinoco here, and I'm here to hopefully help you not make very many mistakes when you're on your search for your 1/5 scale RC car with a petrol engine. I want to share my knowledge and experience over the past 20 odd years, and hopefully I'll help you make a good choice in the one that you're looking to buy, whether you're buying new or second hand. We're going to look at new as well, but mainly talk about second hand, the things you need to look for on a second hand car, and just the things you need to look for in general, in my opinion. So if that kind of tickles you a little bit, watch this. So this, believe it or not, is an RC, and this is a petrol one. I can tell that because the way it is. If you know why, you know why. Because it's got a petrol engine on it. That means it's a petrol RC car. What you need to look for, well, the most important thing you need to think about when you're looking for a petrol RC car, what type are you actually looking for? Do you want something that's a bit of a project? Are you handy? You know, are you able to sort of mend things? Have you got common sense? Or are you just one of those nerds that is okay at a desk, but when it comes to physical stuff, you haven't got a clue? But you want to delve into it and you want to learn, which is great, but you need to know what type of person you are to realise what you're buying. Because you could go for one which looks a bit tatty and you're not really sure, things might be broken, the engine might not be very good, this and that, etc, etc. But if you're willing to learn and willing to come across problems and mend them and not get annoyed or frustrated, that might be for you. But if you're the type of person and you know that you just want one that works, you might spend a bit more money, but you want one that works, no problems. You need to work that out first. Once you've come across what you want to do, then you need to find one. When you found one, you need to work out, is the engine any good? And one of the best signs that you can do when you're just looking at an RC car, you've gone round to someone's house and you're having a bit of a look. You can do one thing, and let me show you. Now, what you can do, simply get a hold of the pull start like that and give it a bit of a pull. You should feel quite a bit of resistance. Some engines will have more resistance than others, so you may pull the pull start and it lifts up the whole car like that. That is a very good healthy engine if it does that, as long as it does actually pull over and keep turning over and doesn't actually jam up solid, because that's a whole new problem. Now, it's quite important for me to point out, and it's a bit of a touchy subject, because RC geeks, they do get a little bit touchy when things are mentioned, in their opinion, the wrong way round. However, these are in fact strimmer engines. They're just a small little two-stroke engine that you would typically find on a strimmer, just a small strimmer. Most strimmers around in England here are about 50cc, but you can get 30cc and 26cc strimmers for little tiny jobs. A lot of people have had a go at me in the past and said, no, any engine on an RC car is designed for that RC. It's not, okay? You can get engines which are designed primarily for 1/5 scale RC cars, right? Taylor engines and other brands. They're designed for RC cars and they go on RC cars. But when you just buy, particularly if you're buying a Chinese car, but not always just Chinese ones. I mean, this one's an FG Marder, 4-wheel drive FG Marder. This one is a French one, and it is the OG, rare as rockin' horse mushrooms. They were made professionally back in the day, but they did use your ordinary little, well, it's actually a Zenoa, it's a Komatsu engine, but you would find this on a strimmer. There isn't anything different, and if anybody knows anything that makes it different, you can tell me, but I probably might not believe you. What is on here is a centrifugal clutch, but that will bolt onto there, and you'll get a centrifugal clutch on a strimmer. So there may be small designs, but if you're familiar with strimmers and small two-stroke engines, I don't care what anybody says, if you're familiar with those, you'll have absolutely no problems working out any issues with one of these, because you've got the same carburetor that you would have on a chainsaw, strimmer, anything like that. Same 2-needle carburetor, you know, primer bulb, everything is the same. Everything is exactly the same as you would find on a strimmer as far as the engine goes. Right, that's enough of that. So, if you've determined that you think your engine is reasonably healthy on the one that you're looking at, next things to look at is just your servos. You know, are there any there? Same as you would on a Nitro car. Is there servos there? If there are, do they move? Like that. Do they sound alright? Do that. Yep, all good and dandy. I must admit, all these checks I'm telling you to do, I never do. I never do. I just buy them blind. Literally buy them blind a lot of the time. I don't even go and look at them. I buy them over the phone, or sometimes on the tip-tappy thing, mostly on the phone. Buy them, go and pick them up, bring them home, and then work out what's wrong with them. But that's me. Do as I tell you. Do as I say, not do as I do if you're a beginner. Unless you're willing to work things out, as I've said before. Anyway, so you've done all that. Wheel bearings, are your wheels floppy? No. Everything okay there? Everything seemed fine. That's it, really. If you want one with radio gear that comes with radio gear, you need to make sure that the radio gear works, so you can always ask the person selling it, say, make sure there's batteries in the transmitter, please. Make sure there's a battery in the car for the receiver, so I can just test the transmitter, the receiver, and the servos. And, you know, most people will probably fire it up for you. If they won't fire it up for you and let the engine run so you can hear it, then they're probably trying to hide something, to be honest. But that doesn't mean it's a bad one. It could just mean they don't know how to start it. They might have acquired it, depending on the story of the actual car. When you buy anything in life, including RC cars, but when you buy anything, never really believe what the seller's telling you. That's my advice to you over years and years of buying and selling. Never believe what the seller's telling you. Take it with a pinch of salt. Get a gauge on that type of person. What are they like from your first impressions of them? Do you understand whether you can believe what they're telling you or not? And just take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah? Kind of think, okay, that might be true, but it might not be. I'm prepared for it to not be true. If you're prepared for it to not be true, whatever it is they're telling you, if you find out that it is true, happy days. If you find out that it's not true, it doesn't matter because you're prepared for that. If you're getting really picky, you could just have a quick look around the shocks, around the suspension to make sure they're not leaking. They might be leaking, the diffs might be leaking oil. Have a little look underneath it. You know, can you see any patches of wetness? All that kind of stuff. I don't give an uncle's monkey about. But you might do, so have a look at that. Because it could mean that the diffs or the suspension, you know, the shocks are leaking their oil, which means you'd have to take them out and reseal them. Something that you would actually have to do. But you must bear in mind, when you're buying any RC car, 1/5 scale, probably more so, because people do tend to neglect 1/5 scale cars, because they're petrol engines, there's little to no maintenance involved. Literally fire it up, run it round as much as you want to do, turn it off, turn the receiver off, put it in the shed, forget about it until the next time you want to use it. You have to charge the battery up, obviously. There's little to no maintenance. Check the screws and stuff now and again, as you would with anything else. Nitro, arguably, can take a little bit more maintenance with the engine and all that kind of stuff. All things I never do anyway. But, you know, 1/5 scale does tend to get neglected slightly more than others. So, you know, you've got to be prepared if you're buying second hand to have to do some small little jobs. I should point out at this moment in time that this particular car is currently for sale. Yep, this is my 4-wheel drive FG Marder. I acquired it probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I'm not really sure, can't remember. But I got it, I've used it a few times. The engine is cracking. Proper cool little engine in there. Runs like a dream. I may fire it up, may not do. But there's plenty of videos of it on this channel. It's for sale at the moment. Haven't advertised it. Might advertise it in the next week or so. I'm just in the process of doing things. It's got front disc brakes on it, which work bloody brilliantly, to be honest. And goes whoop down endos. Yeah, it's great. Proper cool little buggy. But I don't need 2 of them. You know, one's enough for me. This is the one I've chosen to let go. Never did manage to find a shell for it. If you've got, or you know, if you can find a shell for that, you will be sitting on a gold mine with that thing. Because they don't make the 4-wheel drive ones anymore. They make different variations, not 4-wheel drive Mardas. You can get copies, but not originals, to my knowledge anyway. And the shells are very hard to come by, so that's why I haven't got one on it. It won't come with my tuning screwdriver. I always keep that screwdriver there. It lives there. That's where it lives. I just stuff it in there and forget about it. And then if I'm out and about and I need to adjust the carburetor for any reason, I can just go, thank you very much. There we go. See you later. Have a nice day. FG. What a cracking company, man. If you're being a bit fussy, you can look at things like the air filter, because the condition of the filter now, don't get me wrong, there will be some people that if they're in the know and they really and you know they know what to do, they will change the filter or clean it prior to selling it to make it look like a good filter. But a lot of the time people just don't think of that, and so they leave it as they sell it is how they've been using it a lot of the time. So if the air filter is grotty, it's got holes in it, or if it's just generally dirty, that will give you an indication of how well that engine's been looked after. Because if they clean the air filter regularly, they're looking after the engine. If they don't clean the air filter regularly, they're not looking after the engine particularly well. And that will show. A lot doesn't mean that it's a surefire 100% fact that the engine's not a lot of cop and the person hasn't looked after it, because it could just be that they do look after it, they do clean the filter regularly, but at this particular time when you've come to have a look at it, they might have had a busy life and they've just not cleaned it because it's low on their priority list, even though they are selling it. But you don't know what people's lives are like, what's going on in people, and cleaning an air filter might be low on their priority list. You know, whether you buy the car or not might be low on their priority list. You just don't know, but it gives you an idea, alright? And there are other things you can do, such as looking down the carburetor, but you have to start taking things apart to look through that. And they might not be happy with you taking things apart, but a lot of the time, most people are fairly happy with you just to dig around. Oh, congratulations to Angela Smith, by the way. I did get a minion to go down the subscriber list. I learned to speak one day and pick a random name, and Angela Smith come up, and I was going to send her a gift voucher to either Wheelspin or Answer RC or whatever, but she said, have you got any transmitters and receivers that you don't want? Because I'd rather that. So I had a few of these knocking around with a receiver, so there you go, Angela Smith. She's got it now. Yeah, it was about a week ago. But yeah, all you got to do is just subscribe to this channel, comment on some videos, like them, just show that you're active. Yeah, you're an active subscriber. And sometimes I just go down the subscriber list and pick someone and I give away gift vouchers. Yeah, could be £10, could be £20. Answer RC, Wheelspin Models, Model Sport, Model Tune, any shop that I feel like it, really. Or occasionally I give away actual stuff. Yeah, if I've got some stuff that I don't need or want or whatever, if I just feel nice, you know, starter kits, things like that. Randomly, there is no time schedule. I'll just, alright, let's give something away. Go down the subscriber list, pick a name, you know, go in the comments so I can see that you're active. Pick a comment that you've commented on and reply to that, and then we get in touch, and there you go, I send something to you. You don't have to spend a single penny. All you have to do is subscribe. Make sure that you only reply to me, by the way. Don't want anybody hearing that you're replying to people that aren't me, pretending to be me, because if that starts to happen, that's very sad. You'll know if it's me because it'll be highlighted. Simple as that. Good luck, and thanks for subscribing. Who knows, maybe one day I might get to a point where I can afford to give away a whole car, one of these. Imagine that. You never know. The only way you will know is if you do subscribe and stick around. Anyway, what else can I possibly tell you to look out for? You see, the thing is, there are some people that probably make it sound really complicated and important, everything you must look for, but in actual fact, there isn't a lot that you need to look out for in one of these. I think I've probably gone through too much to look out for. There's not really anything, even with the Nitro car, really. The most important thing is the engine. Other than that, everything else can be, well, everything can be mended, but The engine is probably the expensive thing, you know. Everything else relatively cheap in comparison, you know, with retrospect to what it is. And you get what you get. But it does pay to not rush into things. Have a think. Is that the one I really want? There's maybe some more, you know, there might be some other ones, and you think, okay, well, let's compare them in your mind. Which one do I actually want? Don't rush into something. Then you decide, and you should be happy. I can't really think of much else that you need to look out for. Hopefully, this video has given you some comfort, you know, some inspiration as to what to look for, but just some comfort, because sometimes some people can find things a bit daunting. You know, you're getting into a new hobby and you think, I want this, but I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't really know what I'm looking for, and I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to get a lemon. Hopefully I've given you a little bit of confidence, comfort in buying your first, I was going to say Nitro then, your first petrol RC car. If there's anything, any questions, you can email me. There's an email address, but the best thing to do is to just comment on this video, or any video, but this video is about the topic, isn't it? If you comment, not only I will see it, but other people will as well, and they can reply to that comment and help you with things you're asking. So it's best just to comment, and we can all help together. If you're experienced and you've got something that you think I've missed out, comment that as well, because I can read it and think, oh yeah, what a cock, I've missed that out. Or perhaps I might learn something from you. But also, and more importantly, the people who are watching this and want to learn can read your comments on your knowledge, and they can learn from that as well. So we can all help each other. I'll catch you lot on the next one. I've already done a Nitro video, what to look out for buying your first Nitro car. But I might do an updated one, because that was some time ago. We didn't talk about new petrol ones, did we? We could just briefly have a quick touch on new petrol ones. They're quite boring, really. New petrol RC cars. This isn't new anymore, but it's the closest I've got to new. This is a Roven Q Shorty. This has got a 29cc. Well, it's not 29 anymore because it blew up. It's a 30.5cc engine. I had to rebuild it. There's videos on this channel. I don't know what it was, the 5th, 6th time I ever used it. It seized up. No, it didn't seize up. It blew up. The compression just went, and I had to put a new crank, conrod, piston and cylinder on it. So it's got the same block, and it now runs like an absolute dream. Very loud, very nice sounding actually. Sounds a bit like a motocross bike. I'm on a little 50cc motocross bikes. It's not 50cc though, it's 29 or 30.5. It's got a few upgrades on it, bits and bobs. If you want to buy one of these brand new, I think the price has gone up quite a bit now. You got to think to yourself, because in my opinion, when you're buying brand new in this price range, you know, these Chinese ones, in that price range, you would think buying brand new means you do get a warranty probably. Although even these days, even the shops that sell these won't warranty them. Really. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that. Probably going to get some angry emails or something. But in my experience, they don't, because the people that buy them usually break them trying to use them because they don't know how to. So they break them by mistake and then try to get warranty on them. So the shops just don't warranty them. But that could be wrong. I'm not saying that's a fact. It's just my experience. So buying these brand new doesn't guarantee you that things aren't going to break and things are going to work flawlessly. Doesn't guarantee it. In my opinion, honestly, you're better off looking for a second-hand proper brand rather than a new one of these. That's just my opinion. Take of it what you will. But I would always rather an FG, second-hand FG, or a second-hand low C, something like that. You can spend a bit more money, but it's good branded over that. That being said, this is absolutely fantastic. It wasn't my first petrol RC car, so you know, it didn't matter to me whether it was any good or not. It was just a bit of fun, and I bought it purely to make videos with anyway, so it was a bit of a prop than anything else. But yeah, I don't really know. There's not really a lot else to say about that. I think I've got my opinion across quite as well as I can do. Probably going to annoy some people. There's a car on the driveway, so that means the missus is home. So I'm going to be out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. What I said earlier on about questions and comments, make sure you do that, and we can all help each other. Cheerio, and I will make an updated Nitro one. What to look out for buying a second-hand Nitro. I will do it. It was a few years ago. I thought the blooming bikes were going to fall over. It was a few years ago when I done that, so. Catch you on the next one. Take care, all the best.